spexmojo.com. See the difference presents Mood of the State, co-sponsored by Rajdeep Builders.
नमस्कार, येवकार तुमकां. तिसरो वांटो ह्या मूड ऑफ द स्टेट सर्वेचो ताचे टायटल स्पॉन्सर आसा spexmojo.com. आनीक दोन भाग जाले आमचे. दोन भागां भितर आमी 20 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी पळयल्यो आनी 2-3 म्हत्वाचे प्रश्न पळयले. आयचो भाग जो आमी सुरू करतात तो तितल्याच म्हत्वाच्या प्रश्नावेल्यान आनीक 10 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी आमी ह्याय भागा भितर घेतले. पण पयलो प्रश्न जो आसा, जो जनरल प्रश्न जाचे वयल्यान आमी सुरवात करतात बिफोर वी गो इन टू द स्पेसिफिक्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी, तो म्हळ्यार हू ओपोज दीस गव्हर्मेंट इफेक्टिवली ड्युरींग लास्ट 5 years. तो ग्राफ पळोवया आनीक आमी मुखार या. हू ओपोज दीस गव्हर्मेंट इफेक्टिवली, एंड दिस इज अ व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग ग्राफ. तुमकां पळयतकीर भयंकर कुफुसांव दिसतलें, पण तशें ना. अशें आमकां निलेश जेन्ना सांगतलो तेन्ना कळटलें. सो निलेश, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन अस दीस व्हेरी कुफुसांव लुकिंग ग्राफ.
Pramod, again, in spite of your request of making it simple and putting it into a pie graph kind of a form, I thought we should still put this graph in a complex manner because at the end of the day, what is important is the general public should be aware about who oppose the government effectively and efficiently, because then they form as an alternate to the existing people in the office, as the voters would believe that the opposition has got this right or has got this efficiency, has got this homework, has got this studiousness to take their issues to the assembly, or for that matter out of assembly, whichever way you look at it. So therefore we kept the graph the way it is. Now what does this graph basically show you? This graph basically shows you the percentage number of respondents whom people perceive to be as the best opposer to the government. And so therefore at rank 1 you had got 29% of people who believed that independents were the actual opposers and they opposed the government effectively in assembly and out of assembly. 47.7% people believed that Congress was an effective and efficient opposition. 11.2% people believed that MGP opposed the government. I mean, MGP was probably at the end of the day left only with one MLA, but that MLA opposed government very effectively and efficiently. 3.4% of the people who also believed that there were BJP MLAs who opposed the government or took the questions to the government effectively and efficiently. 3.9% felt it was Goa Forward, 2.5% felt it was AAP, and surprisingly 1.5% people felt that it was Revolutionary Goan or RG who were effective opposers. At rank number 2, you have got Congress at 17.8, MGP at 16.5, BJP MLAs at 8.5, Goa Forward at 22.3, Aam Aadmi Party now increasing because now you are looking at Aam Aadmi Party basically because they do not have an MLA in the assembly. Now you are talking about second rank to them because of out of assembly kind of a thing at 21.5% and RG at 2.7. And third, if you notice, AAP graph going to 36.4. So the reason why we continue to keep this is because these are kind of indicators in terms of data that show us who is a viable alternative to the people in office. And that is the reason why we kept this graph, though we know it is very complicated and complex for general viewers to kind of briefly comprehend, but we thought we should still continue to keep this
So you are
slide
saying
the way it
two
is.
of the major challenges to this government is Congress and AAP emerging out of this
Congress and AAP are the major emergent, yes. And number one, at number one place, you also have independents, which people believe. So you had people like, for example, Rohan Khaute, who very effectively opposed and questioned the government both in the house and out of the house.
मनोज, तुम्ही कशें पळयता ह्या डेटा कडे?
हय, कोण खरे विरोधक या सरकारचे ह्या प्रश्नाक हाणें बरें विश्लेशण केलां आनी बरो ग्राफ तुमच्या फुड्यान दवरला. हो प्रश्न आमकां दोन गजाली खातीर म्हत्वाचो. एक म्हणजे फेसीस कोण, नवे चेहरे कोण जे सरकाराक ऑल्टरनेटिव्ह जावंक शकता, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, ह्या विरोधकांनी जे मुद्दे घातल्या और मुद्दे उपस्थित केल्या गेल्या 5 वर्सांत ते कितले इफेक्टिव्ह आसा आनी ते नव्या लोकांक, नव्या वोटरांक कितले भावतले इलेक्शन करत्या वेळी. सो अशें दिसता की काँग्रेस हॅज रिटेन its stature of independent of being an what is say opposition party. बाय नेचर काँग्रेस ऑपोजिशनान आशिल्ली आनी ताच्या ऑपोजिशनाचो जरी नंबर कमी जालो 10 गेले आणि फुडें आतां आज मागीर परतो 1 गेलो तरी सुद्दां ऑपोजिशन म्हणून जो दबाव जो दबदबो काँग्रेसान दवरपाक जाय आशिल्लो तो ताणें दवरला. पण एक प्रॉब्लम तातूंत म्हाका दिसता आपाचो जसो रँक आनी फायल जसो वाडटा आनी आपाचो जसो विरोधाचो आवाज जसो वाडटा तो मातसो काँग्रेसाक खंय तरी डॅमेजींग जावंक शकता. कारण काँग्रेस आनी आप हेच सेक्युलर वोटान स्प्लिट जावपाची एक शक्यता आसा. पूण एक गजाल दिसताली म्हाका की लास्ट टायम गेल्या वेळाचेर निवडणुकीचे पयलीं गोवा फॉरवर्ड एक प्रमुख विरोधी पक्ष म्हणून फुडें आयिल्लो. तेन्ना काँग्रेस प्रमुख विरोधी पक्ष आशिल्लो. गोवा फॉरवर्डाचें अस्तित्व फक्त एका आमदारा पुरतें आशिल्लें. पण गोवा फॉरवर्डान जो आवाज केलो विरोधी त्या विरोधी आवाजाच्या जोराचेर काँग्रेसाक फायदो जालो. तो गोवा फॉरवर्ड आज खंय तरी डेसिमिनेट जाला सकयल पडला. सिमिलरली रेव्होल्युशनरी गोवन्सा सारको जो आवाज जो आतां आमकां दिसता की सबंद गोंयभर आसा एक्सेट्रा बट तुमचो डेटा आज सांगता की 1% सुद्दां लोक ताका विरोधक म्हणून पळयनात. सो रेव्होल्युशनरी गोवन्स डेसिमिनेट जाल्ले भशेन दिसता ह्या सर्वे भितर. गोवा फॉरवर्डाचो आवाज दाबल्या भशेन दिसता आनी काँग्रेस इनस्पायट ऑफ रेड्युसिंग इज स्ट्रेंथ काँग्रेसाचो आवाज अजुनूय लोकांक भावता. इंडिपेंडंट जरी लोकांनी म्हणलें जाल्यार लक्षांत घ्या 3 जे इंडिपेंडंट आशिल्ले त्या पैकी गोविंद गावडे इज विथ द बीजेपी सो ताचो आवाज ना. पण प्रसाद आणि रोहन हाचो आवाज खंय तरी दिसता आनी रोहनाचे ते ऑलरेडी रिफ्लेक्ट जाला तुमच्या सर्वेन की रोहन इज अ पॉप्युलर MLA.
राधाबाब.
See, Pramod, what happens, usually it is said, those who are friends, when they break, they become very fierce enemies. As much as friendly as they were, they become equally strong enemies. Now, if you look at I am talking of political parties, I can say that for the first 2 years of the government, the GFP and the MGP were very strong supporters of the government. And they were equally strong and equally fierce opponents of the government in the last 2 years. Because the political equations changed. So who is supporter or who is opponent depends on where your interests lie, whether you are in power in alliance with the one party or you are in opposition. So from this point of view, this is what happened. Now, of course, that the Congress was the only opposition party as such for the whole term. And therefore it is natural that they should oppose. And the public must say that they are the ones who were the fierce opponents. It is normal.
How do you see the AAP factor also?
No, I will come to that. I will come to that.
Yeah.
Now, what happens? See, Congress, now finally they have 5 MLAs, 4 are now today. Until day before yesterday, they had 5. Out of which 4 were ex-chief ministers. And according to me, they were hardly opponents. The only one who actually acted as opposition was Reginald for the Congress. The rest were just there asking questions and sitting down. Now, as far as AAP is concerned, it is the reality that they have been active on the ground. You can't dispute that. They have been in the forefront, standing up, taking up issues, and therefore people have appreciated that. That is a factual position. And then, of course, now GFP and MGP, then Rohan County, they have all been there. Now, as against this RG and ECOT, going to ECOT, they are not political parties as of now. So they are just organizations or societies which aren't political parties. So I don't think people would take much note of them because they are not political parties.
So unless they are a structured political party, people wouldn't consider them as an alternative.
Exactly.
Elvis, happy with the data?
Obviously, because Congress still ranks high in the minds of people as effective opposition. But having said that, 17 आमदार घेऊन जेन्ना काँग्रेस फुडें आयिल्ले आनी इट कूड हॅव रियली बीन अ स्ट्रॉंग फोर्स इफ दे हॅड टू रिमेन इंटॅक्ट. आनी ऑपोजिशन नासतना डेमोक्रेसी फंक्शन जावपाक शकना. ऑपोजिशन जायच पण कांय आमदारांक दिसलें की आमी ऑपोजिशनान रावन कितें करतले. See, they have not gone into how BJP once rode to power by being in the opposition. They were a really effective opposition under the leadership of Mr. Manohar Parrikar. आनीक जेन्ना हावजान येता जर हांकां जर कॅपॅसिटी ना ऑपोजिशनान बसून जर लोकांचे इश्यू सोडोवपाचे दे आर नॉट फीट एक्चुअली. म्हणून हांव परतो हे डिफेक्शनाचेर कित्याक येता. ह्या डिफेक्टरांक लागून ही डेमोक्रेसी हालता. इफेक्टीव ऑपोजिशन खरेंच मजबूत ऑपोजिशन आसूंक जाय आशिल्लें. तरी सुद्दां काँग्रेसीन आतां लोक म्हणटा ते भशेन काँग्रेसीन इफेक्टीव ऑपोजिशन दिल्लें आसा आनी इश्यूज रेज केल्ले आसा. म्हणून बरें आसा की इन फ्युचर एटलिस्ट दीस पीपल हॅव टेकन नोट ऑफ द कायंड ऑफ ऑपोजिशन दे हॅव ऑफर्ड आनी फुडाराक बरें आसा काँग्रेसीक.
गिरिराज, हाऊ डू यू लुक एट ऑपोजिशन?
एक दोनूच मिनटां जाय म्हणजे वेन यू टॉक अबाउट ऑपोजिशन, म्हाका दिसता इन अ डेमोक्रेसी यू जस्ट डोंट नीड ऑपोजिशन, यू नीड कन्स्ट्रक्टिव्ह ऑपोजिशन. बट एज फार एज द one which should have been the primary opposition party, which is the Congress, if you see, I think they have spent more time opposing each other than anybody else. Today, Congress in Goa has a president who has resigned 2 or 3 times, and party is asking him to continue. You have an acting president now who had retired from politics. They have brought him as a working president. So I think Congress has issues of its own. Secondly, as far as the parties like Goa Forward is concerned or MGP is concerned, म्हाका दिसता आज तांचे जे क्रिटिसिजम जाला ते कोंकणीन आमी जाका कोल्याक द्राक्षां आंबट म्हणटात तशें जाल्लें आसा. They were until a few days ago they were part of the government. Today they are criticizing the government. So I think overall people of Goa know that opposition has lost credibility. For example, with 17 people also, they could not form the government. And why they could not form the government?
Okay.
Yes, BJP was a first mover.
Okay.
But I think it was greed of the Congress people to be the chief ministers that kept them
ओके
away from
ओके
it.
फेर इनफ. आता आमी कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी कडेन या आणि कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी म्हऱ्या वतना वील स्टार्ट विथ 3 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीज इन
ते घेवन गेले म्हणटात. गिरिराज तुमी घेवन गेले मरे तांकां, ग्रीड तुमी दाखय तेंची सॅटिस्फाय केली.
गोड
नॅशनल काँग्रेस ही गोंयांत पयल्या फावटी फॉर्म जाल्ली पळय, that was by taking all the defectors into their party.
ओके.
पहिलं सरकार सुरू झालं.
भविष्याकडेन या, इतिहासांतल्यान भविष्याकडेन या. पहिली 3 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी फोंडे तालुक्यांतल्यो फोंडा, शिरोडा, मडकय. आमी फोंडा, शिरोडा, मडकय तिनीची प्रोजेक्शन्स पळोवया आणि मुखार या. वॉट इज द सिच्युएशन इन फोंडा, विच इज व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. नाव दिस इज 50-50 प्रोबेबली बिकॉज रवी नायक इज ऑल्सो 2 व्हड्यांचेर पांय. सो इट लुक्स टू मी लायक 2 व्हड्यांचेर पांय हांगाय रिफ्लेक्ट जाता 50-50. बट ते कितें खंयच्या होड्याचेर पांय तांणी दवरत रावपाचो हें आमी निलेशाक विचारया मागीर. शिरोडा अनादर कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी जंय राधा बाबान म्हळें की डिफेक्शन जाल्लें, बाय इलेक्शन जाल्लें, निवडून आयिल्ले इज क्लियरली शोईंग अनसेफ रायट नाव. सुभाष शिरोडकर इज अनसेफ. शिरोडा अनादर कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी लास्ट आनी तांची विक्ट्री जी आशिल्ली आय थिंक दॅट वॉज ऑल्सो बाय हार्डली 66 वोट्स. थर्ड इज मडकय. दिस इज लायक दॅट विश्वजीत राणे कायंड ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी. मडकयचो जर आमी रिजल्ट पळयलो आय एम नॉट ब्रेकिंग माय हेड ओवर इट. इट इज सुदीन ढवळेकर इज सेफ. निलेश, फोंडा अँड शिरोडा.
Ponda is again a constituency where there is a tremendous skewed result towards change of government. And when it comes to the MLA, Ponda has rated its MLA not so good. So which simply would mean that Ravi Naik or the sitting MLA for that matter is in a little bit of a problem. Shiroda,
what would be your advice to Ravi Naik looking at the data? Shifting to BJP makes him safe or staying with Congress makes him viable?
I don't know, but I think the data kind of tells me that he shifting to BJP will not help at all.
Not help at all?
No, will not help at all. In fact, even if you look at who would be the next CM candidate kind of a thing, question that you have in Ponda, you have a pretty decent competition to Pramod Sawant by MGP. So, you know, that's the point there. So, therefore, I'm not
What
too
about
sure
Shiroda?
Shiroda is a very classic case. It's a straightforward case. In fact, it's not as intriguing as many others. It's not as enigmatic. It's a very straightforward case. Another case where you have almost about 65% of the respondents saying worst performance by the sitting MLA. 65%.
Yeah. Manoj?
Well, before you go to Manoj, there is another point here which is very important, and that is when you look at Shiroda. And when you ask them whether you want change of government, there is quite a substantial few who want a change of government.
Okay. So here the anger is against the candidate rather than the party.
Yes.
Manoj?
Yes, Ponda and Shiroda. बीजेपीक थंय बरी सायजेबल मतां पडटा आनी जरी तांचे कॅन्डिडेट फोंड्या आनी शिरोड्या जरी जिखूंक ना जाल्यार फोंड्या आनी शिरोड्या हिंदू बाहुल्य मत म्हणजे जो नॉन सेक्युलर जो वोट आसा तो बीजेपी फाटल्यान सदां उरता आनी इट इज ऑलवेज अ ट्रिकी मार्जीन थिन मार्जीन बट अ फ्युरियस कॉम्पिटिशन देर पण फोंड्या ह्या टायमार वी हॅव सीन रवी नायक फॉर बीजेपी म्हणजे दो ही इज इन काँग्रेस he is playing or he is betting for BJP and he is we see him as a potential entrant to the BJP or his son's entry to the BJP but people are not showing any confidence म्हणजे लोकांचो कॉन्फिडन्स ताका अजिबात ना किंवा आपल्या दोन चल्यांक धाडून जे पालिके भितर जे सत्तांतर करपाक जाय आशिल्ले थंय ताचो अजेंडा फेल जालो सो इट सिम्स व्हेरी क्लियरली लोकांक चेंज ऑफ गव्हर्मेंट जाय लोकांक चेंज ऑफ MLA जाय सो द डेज ऑफ रवी नायक एज एन MLA इज आर आउटनंबर्ड म्हणजे आता भायर वचपाच्या मार्गार थंय MGP खूब स्ट्रॉंग दिसता किंवा ताच्या फाटल्यान काँग्रेस जितली कन्सॉलिडेट स्वताक करतली थंय काँग्रेसाक किंवा MGPक थंय फायदो जातलो शिरोड्या सामकें तशेंच सिच्युएशन आसा गेल्या टायमाचेर बाब सुभाष शिरोडकर फ्लुकान जिखले 66 वोट्स सामकें टफ कॉम्पिटिशन आनी फायनली MGP भितरूच एनिमी तयार जाले पावसकर आनी लहू मामलेकरान थंय प्रचार केलो धर्माचे जातीचे राजकारण जालें तरी आसतना दीपक ढवळीकर फक्त 66 मतांनी पडले ह्या टायमार तेन्नाच लोक म्हणटाले की सुभाष शिरोडकराचे ऑलरेडी दीस सोंपले सुभाष शिरोडकर रिमेन क्लोज टू पावर बट वॉज आउट ऑफ पावर मिनिस्ट्री काय मेळ्ळी ना इंडिव्हिज्युअल कामां काय जाली ना सो गेल्या 5 वर्सांत तांचो टच कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी कडेन तुटला हे दिसताले आता प्रश्न पडटा इफ नॉट सुभाष शिरोडकर थंय कोण आसा पण ताचें उत्तर निलेश बाबान पयलीं दिलां की आप एक फॉर्मिडेबल ऑपोजिशन म्हणून वयर येता काँग्रेसा फाटोफाट थंय आपान सामकें सोशल इंजिनियरींग केलां बहुजन समाजाचो एक लिडर महादेव नायकाक थंय भितर घेतला सो इट सिम्स नाव द ऑड्स वील मूव टुवर्ड्स आप और टुवर्ड्स महादेव नायक इन द फ्युचर बट when people are saying a seasoned politician like Subhash Shirodkar who is now into BJP and 65% people are saying that he is now the worst candidate or an worst MLA this shows that the performance is something which is important तुम्ही पहिलीचे इतिहास घेऊन तुम्ही आणि लीडरशिप घेऊन तुम्ही पुढे वचूंक शकना
आणि मडकयचेर आमी काय उलोवपाची गरज ना
हय
मडकय ते मडकय
मडकय
मडकय इज मडकय ओके राधा बाब
See what happens now, my feeling is that both in Shiroda and Ponda, the Congress would stand a good chance of winning because I have context there. If Girish Naik gives up his fixation with the Bandaris, you see the Bandaris are not with the Congress. They are all with MGP or BJP. And fielding Bandari candidates to attract them doesn't make any sense.
You mean to say Girish Chodankar?
Girish Chodankar, sorry, yeah. Girish Chodankar. Congress
Don't call him
president.
Girish Naik.
No, Chodankar. Somehow, you know, I have got in my head that all Naiks are Bandaris and this is the confusion. See, I will tell you what happens. See, in Ponda, there is a reasonably strong Congress candidate, Rajesh Verekar. He is under Bandari. Now, same thing there is in Shiroda, the son of former MLA, Abhay Prabhu, some Babai Prabhu, again not a Bandari. Now, when you know that the Bandaris are not with you, you have to see that you take the other communities and get them to vote. Particularly in Shiroda, there's a huge chunk of minority vote. So you don't have to depend on the Bandaris there. If the AAP is fielding Tulsidas Naik, if someone else is Subhash Shirodkar, you field a non-Bandari. Why should Girish only talk of Bandaris? So this is something that the Congress must go because finally in India, it is a caste engineering that works.
Okay.
Go ahead with these people.
Okay.
Why don't you announce them as your candidates?
एल्विस रवी नाईक 50-50 जो 2 वड्यांचेर पांय दवरून आसा आणि शिरोडा सुभाष शिरोडकर
दोन कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग व्ह्यूज आयकोपाक मेळ्ळा मातशे मोरलेस
तू मदीं आहा
हांव मदीं आसा म्हणटकीच दोनी व्ह्यूवांतल्यान एक निष्पन्न जाता की दॅट काँग्रेस स्टँड्स अ चान्स देर आनी दुसरें सांगता पर्टिक्युलरली रिस्पेक्ट टू शिरोडा हांवें मातशें थोडें काम केल्लें आसा आय विल नॉट गो इन टू दीस कास्ट इंजिनियरींग दॅट इज एट ऑल नॉट ऑन माय एजेंडा पूण तरी सुद्दां कितें आसा थंय न्यू पिळगी जी आसा युवक पिळगी दे आर अ लिटल फ्रस्ट्रेटेड आनी तांचे कडेन उलोवन जर पळयशी दॅट दे आर रेडी फॉर अ चेंज हांव हॅव डन दीस एक्सरसायज इन द पास्ट कपल ऑफ डेज आनी शॉर्टली आय विल बी मिटींग मोर पीपल इज अ ह्यूज चंक ऑफ पीपल हू आर वेटिंग टू हियर आनी तें पळोवपाक गेलो जाल्यार काँग्रेस डेफिनेटली स्टँड्स अ चान्स इन बोथ दीस कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीज
गिरिराज
पयलीं आता फोंड्याचेर आय थिंक लॉट ऑफ स्टफ विल डिपेंड ऑन हू द कॅन्डिडेट इज आणि बीजेपीचे संघटन स्ट्रॉंग आसा सो आय थिंक डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कॅन्डिडेट इट्स अ सीट दॅट इज डेफिनेटली विनेबल शिरोडा येतना आय डू नॉट एग्री दॅट Subhash Shirodkar is a lost game for the simple reason that man has won 2 elections in 5 years, and both times that this was the same talk that Subhash Shirodkar is finished. Now whether he gets a ticket or no is secondary, but I think Shiroda is a very powerful seat. मनोज बाबान जशें म्हणलें की फॉर तो की सोशल इंजिनियरिंग करून महादेव नाईक थंय स्ट्रॉंग जाल्या म्हणून. Mahadev Naik has lost 2 consecutive elections. Somebody like Deepak Dhawlikar coming into Shiroda as an outsider, Mahadev Naik was pushed to the 3rd position. So Maka dista, it is still advantage BJP in Shiroda. Madkai, I would concede. It will be a lot of hard work for the BJP.
Don't say that you concede on Madkai. None of us are even talking about Madkai. I'm even surprised you said I concede. I thought you would not even mention it.
You see, Madkai is the seat of Dayanand Bandodkar earlier.
Yeah.
And then the MGP has lost it only once when they lost to Ravi Naik, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it has always been MGP.
I'll go to next 2 constituencies. And त्यो म्हळ्यार मुरगांव आणि वास्को. Now this is very interesting. Again BJP चे sitting MLA असा दोन्ही कडेन. सुरवातीक मोर्मुगांव पळोवया, मुरगांव पळोवया, मागीर मुखार या. Is Milind Naik safe? What is the general public saying? Milind Naik is unsafe. At this point of time, the data says Milind Naik is unsafe. Then what happens in Vasco? Again, Vasco, which is very interesting, Carlos Almeida. Is Carlos Almeida safe? Carlos Almeida is unsafe. So both Vasco and Mormugaon, both BJP candidate look unsafe. What are the factors at play here? I mean, Ilesha कडच्यान जाणून घेऊया आणि मुखार या. I think Elvis said Kortali. We'll go to Daboli and Kortali later because Vasco is very interesting. This data is very interesting. Nilesh, please.
Yeah, the data is interesting, Pramod, but I think by now the viewers have probably by-hearted what we are talking about. And so sitting MLA also is not performing well, and there's a large majority which is basically asking for a change of government, and that's true for both places. So I will keep myself short and allow the political scientists to theorize the political scenario.
Yeah.
If there is anything that I need to put in with respect to data, we'll surely
Manoj?
come in.
Coming to Vasco first. Vasco is an unsafe seat for the sitting MLA. I am not surprised. Carlos Almeida was not quite well initially 1-2-3 वर्सां. ताच्यानंतर ताची जी पकड जी आशिल्ली संघटनेचेर आणि डेव्हलपमेंट वर्क्साचेर ती दोनूय सामकी निखळ्ळ्या. आणि कंटिन्युअसली वास्को एक आवाज आमी एक पळयता की MLA इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग आणि ताका बाबड्याक दोन टर्म गव्हर्मेंटान रावूनय सुद्दां ताका पावराच्या भायर रावचो पडलो. So with all this, ताका तो ताचो इफेक्ट जाता. But the greatest defeat for the MLA would be that people are also seeing a change in the government. That is problematic. कारण वास्को तसो एक sizable force असा BJP आणि change in government म्हणजे people are fed up to such an extent की बाबा लोकांक सरकारूय नाका आणि तो आमदारूय नाका. So here Vasco they will have to go in for change of face. आणि चेंज ऑफ फेस लास्ट इयर वी हॅव सीन तांच्याच पार्टीतलो एक कॅन्डिडेट दाजी साळकार हॅड इमर्ज्ड एज व्हेरी स्ट्रॉंग ओपोनंट आणि तांणी आपलो जो रँक फायल आणि जी स्पीड कंटिन्युअसली दवरला. कंटिन्युअसली ही इज ओपोजिंग दी MLA ऑफ वास्को. इट रिमेन्स टू बी सीन वेदर BJP is smart enough to give him ticket. We will see him getting elected on BJP seat if at all. मुरगांव जर पळयलें जाल्यार गेल्या टायमार सामकी स्लेंडर मेजॉरिटीन जिखला म्हणजे
138 votes also.
130 to 140.
Yeah.
आणि ताच्या नंतर ह्या गव्हर्मेंटान एकच भंडारी समाजाचो लिडर जो MLA आशिल्लो तो मिनिस्टर जालो तो वास्को. बट कोलाचे एजिटेशन म्हणा किंवा गणेश बेंजोप्लास्टाचे जे एजिटेशन ते सड्यार जाले ताच्या खातीर मिलिंद नायकाक खूब नेगेटिव्ह जाला. बट वन गुड थिंग अबाउट मिलिंद नायक इज कन्सिस्टंटली ही हॅज परफॉर्म्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ गिविंग जॉब्स, इन टर्म्स ऑफ कीपिंग हिज केडर अँड रँक अँड फायल हॅपी इन वास्को. सो ताचो परिणाम ताचो इफेक्ट ताका ती ट्रेडिशनल वोट्स ताका सांबाळपाक मिलिंद नायकाक फरक पडटलोच. पण काँग्रेसान आपलो मोमेंटम मातसो जर वाडयत गेल्या टायमार 40 मतां आणि 2 चान्सीस संकल्प आमोणकराचे हुकल्या थंय. सो ही रायट्स ऑन एन सिंपथी वेव अँड देर इज एन प्रोबेबिलिटी दॅट ही मायट गेट थ्रू with an tough fight against Milind Naik. पण दोन्हीकडे मिलिंद has been performing for last consistent terms आणि दोन्हीकडे म्हणता वास्को आणि मुरगांवान की people want a change in the government, so change in face will lead to change in government there.
Radhabab?
See, these are constituencies both, which are quite, in fact, I remember not very long ago, there was a move to rename Vasco as Sambhaji. And the constituency has now more or less become mixed Baji. You see, if you look at those constituencies, there are people from all over. So it is unlike other constituencies, you know, these are not necessarily Goan people. And even if they are Goan, they are from all over. So this is difficult to visualize what is happening there. But at the same time, one does get a feeling. In fact, in the bar room, after a long time I was in the bar room also other day, the talk is that the BJP cannot win any seat in Vasco except Daboli. That was the general consensus, that they can't win in Mormugaon except this for various reasons. So I would think
you're staying with that.
On a lighter note, bar room he meant was in the lawyer's bar.
Yeah. This is not a lighter, it's a serious note.
But Pramod, Dotor gets information from both the bar rooms. That is also.
Elvis?
No, that's a good sign. If probably Mormungao is now beyond the reach of the BJP. I don't know exactly what is going to happen. Let us see what comes out of Daboli. But Mormungao
त्यांच्या दाबोली पण करताले.
दाबोली आणि कोर्ताली उरला ते आमकां कळले कोर्ताली कितें जातलें तें पूण हांव सांगता की for a change, it is going for a change. Mormungao Taluka is going for a change.
Okay. Giriraj, how are you looking at it?
See, as far as both seats are concerned, the BJP being a cadre-based party, I think it has a very strong presence. Even both these MLAs have been there for a while. So, irrespective of the candidate, I think the party is in a very strong position. And even despite the health care that the MLA in Vasco had, we have won the municipality there. Same is in Mormugao. So what I'm trying to say is nobody is talking about poor performance in local body elections, but they suddenly believe that they will prop up a MLA candidate and BJP is going to lose seats. So both these seats, according to me, are safe and the cadre will prove it.
Okay, very interesting.
SpexMojo.com See the Difference presents Mood of the State, co-sponsored by Rajdeep Builders. SpexMojo.com See the Difference presents Mood of the State, co-sponsored by Rajdeep Builders.
Now we will go to दाबोली आणि कोर्ताली. Elvis Bab, Mormugao start केलं तेन्ना मागतालो, so we'll go to दाबोली and कोर्ताली. दाबोळी पळोवया आणि मागीर मुखार या. दाबोळी is Movin Gudino safe? Yes, Movin Gudino is safe. This is very, I think, many of you expected also on this panel. Movin Gudino is safe. The next is Kourtali. Is Alina Saldana safe? And she is unsafe. The very clear sense is Alina Saldana is unsafe. Nilesh, please tell us more.
Dabolim, there is an overwhelming majority which believes that they have a very efficient MLA, and so they have given him a very good rating. When it comes to whether they want to change of the government, again, in case of Dabolim, there is a huge chunk, a massive percentage that says no. They do not want to change of government. So both these factors come together as a reinforcement to make the sitting MLA safe. There is a large majority, again, like the way you had a skewed thing in Dabolim, there's a skewed verdict towards change of government in Kourtalim. So Kortalim people want a change of government, and even if the government changes, when it comes to the sitting MLA, there is a massive sum which believes that sitting MLA in Kortalim has not been up to the mark, and therefore she is unsafe.
मनोज
हय दाबोळी आनी कुठ्ठाळी दाबोळी MLAन बरें परफॉर्म केला ताका मिनिस्ट्रियल बर्थूय मेळ्ळा भाजपान बरें व्हडलें वरिश्ठ स्थान मेळ्ळा GST कावन्सील ही रिप्रेझेंट्स ही इज एन इंटेलिजंट MLA व्हेरी एलोक्वंट आनी सबंद कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीच्या बरोबर जो इंडस्ट्रीचे हित राखपा खातीर GST यू हॅव सीन ऑटोमोबायल इंडस्ट्रीक कशें ताणें GST सूट मेळोवन दिली गेल्या वर्सा सो दॅट ही हॅज बीन परफॉर्मिंग ही इज व्हेरी स्मार्ट इट इज अ गूड गेन फॉर द BJP आणि BJPन जर ताचेर जर इन्वेस्ट करत सोशली पॉलिटिकली ही कॅन बी अ गुड कॅन्डिडेट अँड ऑल्सो अ गुड चीफ मिनिस्टर्स कॅन्डिडेट फॉर द BJP ऑल्सो इफ रिक्वायर्ड इन द फ्युचर सो लेट इज नॉट टॉक अबाउट दाबोली थंय काँग्रेसाचो किंवा खंयच्याय पार्टीचो एक फॉर्मिडेबल मनीस फुडें दिसना एक्सेप्ट इफ जुजे फिलिप डिसुजा फ्रॉम वास्को इफ ही ट्रायज टू शिफ्ट टू दाबोलीम ही वील हॅव टू पुट अप अ टफ फायट अँड देन वील हॅव टू सी वॉट हॅपन्स लेटर कुठ्ठाळे द MLA हॅज बीन इनइफेक्टीव BJPच्या रँकान फायला भितरूय जे ट्रेडिशनल BJP वोटर्स आसा दे आर ऑल्सो ओपोज टू हर आनी जी माथाना साल्दनाची सिंपथो फॅक्टर जो शी वॉज रायडींग तो आतां वेवर जात आयला टेपर जायत आयला सो थंय तिका प्रॉब्लम आसा सो सिन्स दी MLA इन Kortalim हॅज बीन इनइफेक्टीव people are talking that there has to be a change in the government. Remember, so Catholic dominated constituency elected for the first time or last 2 times and a BJP MLA, but this time people don't see any merit why they should support a BJP MLA and therefore the government. So it is contradictory की सबंद मुरगांवच्या तालुक्यांत जर पळयले 4 मतदारसंघ MLAचे फेस जर मुरगांव आणि वास्को जर चेंज जर करता जाय जाल्यार BJP कॅन गो थ्रू वेरएज इन Kortalim इवन इफ MLAचो फेस जरी चेंज जरी केलो जाल्यार BJPक ती सीट मेळपाक खूब कठीण दिसता दाबोली इज अ पिकी बॅक रायट
या राधाबाब
As I have said, Daboli, from whatever information I have, Matani, Movin is very safe, and Movin is a man who can change colors.
You are agreeing with our survey and Mormugao Taluka in toto.
Yes,
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah.
Now, Movin is, as far as Daboli is concerned, Movin is a man who can change his colors as the situation demands. We have seen. So, there is no issue. He can cater to everyone in Daboli. But from whatever I gather, it is the NCP is demanding some seats for an alliance with the Congress. And Congress would probably, particularly after this survey, gladly give Daboli to Zé Philip. Because I am pretty sure they will give that. But I don't think that would make any difference to Movin.
Yeah.
But then there is another factor there who would probably get more votes than Congress. There's some Captain Viriato Fernandes who is making noises of contesting there.
Yeah.
I don't really think he can win, but he will make an impact. That's my feeling.
Okay.
Now
Elvis?
that is for Daboli. Now we have Kortalim.
Yeah.
Now in Kortalim what happens, I have it on authority that Alina has been told by the BJP that she will not be given the ticket because they know they didn't need this survey. They know that she is not getting the getting elected. And I believe that shortly she is going to announce that she is retiring from politics rather than face a situation where she is denied a ticket. And any time that's what I understand from very close sources to her and to other sources that she will probably retire from electoral politics and says bye-bye because she also knows she has no chance of winning there.
Okay. Elvis?
Even her nephew
Yeah.
has shifted over to the Congress, no?
Yeah.
And her main supporter, Joel Fernandes, has shifted over to UP. So she is left without any base.
Elvis is waiting for such a long time to
No,
talk
no, no.
about
म्हाका इतलेंच
Kortalim.
म्हणपाचें दाबोली I'll leave aside for time being. Party will have to take cognizance of all the discussion that happens here and also the figures that have reflected in the survey. कुट्टाडे कितें जाला कुट्टाडे मेन प्रॉब्लेम अशें जाला जे इश्यूज लोकांचे थंय आसले पर्टिक्युलरली आतां कोल पोल्युशन ते सगळ्या लोकांक लागता तें सेकंड कोस्टल झोन मॅनेजमेंट प्लॅन दोनूच उदाहरण दिता हे जे इश्यूज आसा लोकांचे शी हॅज नॉट बीन एबल टू बी विथ द पीपल दो नो मॅटर हाऊ मच शी वूड हॅव विश टू बी विथ द पीपल हर पार्टी इज डायमेट्रिकली ऑपोजीट टू हर व्ह्यूज आनी म्हणून हे प्रॉब्लेम जाला शी कूड नॉट डू एनीथींग फॉर द पीपल म्हणून ती एंटी इनकम्बन्सी तिचेर खूब आतां डेव्हलप जावपाचीच जी लोकां बरोबर ती आसा म्हणटा पूण एट द सेम टायम ना so this is the problem as far as Kortalim is concerned and that Kortalim seat has moved away
Are you conceding Daboli the way Giriraj conceded Mudkai?
I will not concede because there is time now for the party to work hard, and that is for the
Pramod,
party to
just one
decide.
point about Kortali.
Yeah.
You know, Kortali is a very strange situation. You see in Salset, and Kortali is actually an extension of Salset. It was always, a Congress ticket was always in demand. And anyone would go for it, they would move heaven and earth. But you know, in a very strange situation, there's one Anthony was
Was.
in Kortali,
Yeah.
who has contested last 3 elections. He is a Zilla Panchayat member, and last 3 assembly elections as an independent, he has secured about 5,000 votes each time.
Yeah.
He has a strong vote bank of 5,000.
Yeah.
Congress, every president, has gone to meet him, and he is refusing Congress ticket. That is the strangest part. He is refusing to contest on Congress ticket in Kortali. Why it is, I don't know.
I will just, because Elvis Bab spoke about it, I immediately opened the data. Elvis Bab, sorry to disappoint you, but 87% people from Kortalim believe that CZMP as well as coal is a non-issue.
Which are
Maybe
very-
put-
same thing.
I'm
They build that
completely
employment,
shocked. I mean,
employment, rising prices, all those.
87% people believe that that's a non-issue.
ते कितें जालें लोक वाजेल्ले आसतले बिकॉज शी हॅज नॉट बीन एबल टू डू जस्टीस एट दॅट अप्रोप्रिएट
Could
टाइम
be.
सोडून दिला आसतलो
That-
issue.
that could
MLA
be.
बरोबर ते issue
Giriraj,
सोडून दिला आसतलो.
Giriraj, how do you look at both these constituencies quickly?
First, I think what Nilesh Bab said reinforces the fact that coal and the other issues have been manufactured and are not real. Otherwise, people would have definitely spoken about it. As far as Radharao Bab is concerned, he calls for an alliance against the BJP, but seems to have better sources in the BJP than me, because he already knows what has been conveyed to Madam Alina.
Yes.
As far as
You may not
Kortalim
admit
is
it, but
concerned,
you will know shortly.
as far as Kortalim is concerned, I think last time people have got very thin margin, and with 25% there was a victor. So I think that constituency is still a chance. If you use the word social engineering, then I think that can be applied to this constituency. So it is still a 50-50 seat, if it can be. And about Dabolim, I think it's an overwhelming consensus within the team. It's here, the group, panel itself, that Mr. Movin will sail through.
Yeah, we'll go to next 3 constituencies. Nuwe, Kurtori, Fatorda. Very interesting. Nuwe, defected from Congress, doesn't know which ticket to take, whether to contest as independent or whether to contest as any other ticket. What happens to Babashan? We'll start with Nuwe. Is Babashan safe? Is Babashan safe? Babashan is unsafe. Very clearly unsafe. From Nuwe, we'll go to Kurtori. Alex Reginald. What happens to Alex Reginald? How is Alex Reginald faring? So Alex Reginald is safe. What happens to Fatorda? Now this is one final Goa forward seat. We have to see whether it is safe or unsafe. What happened to Fatorda? And Vijay Sardesai is safe. So Babashan unsafe, Reginald safe, Vijay safe. Finally Goa forwards, one seat looks safe. Nilesh, how do you explain this from a data point of view?
Right. Again, the parameters we took, I think overwhelmingly support this point where the candidate in Nuwe seems unsafe because, again, as a sitting MLA, he has not been rated very high and people overwhelmingly look at change of government. Assuming that on the date of time, at the time of taking the survey or collecting the data, he was a part of BJP. So, therefore, all the more important to understand this. Kurtori, amazing. I think in spite of being in opposition, I think there's a overwhelmingly large number of people who are very happy with Alex Reginald. And not only that, there's again a very skewed large majority which wants a change of government. So that's a thing.
That reinforces that safety.
That reinforces the safety. Fatorda, again, there's quite a large sum which is basically talking about him being good, and he is probably one of those few candidates in the entire list of sitting MLAs who has got no percentage votes for worst performance. So that simply shows that Vijay Sardesai is rated quite highly. Apart from that, there is a very strong sentiment towards the change of government.
Manoj?
Fully agree with this part of survey for these 3 constituencies. Nuve unsafe asas for Babashan. आणि ही हॅज बीन अ नन परफॉर्मर. सरकारान आसून सुद्दां व्हडलो नुव्या कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीन काय फायदो करपाक ते शकले नात आणि ताच्या खातीर लोकांक चेंज ऑफ गव्हर्मेंट जाय. रिमेंबर दॅट दीस ट्रेडिशनली इज अ काँग्रेस सीट आणि ताच्या शिवाय काँग्रेसा शिवाय आनी कसलोच इतिहास ताका ना. कुर्तोरी द सीट seems very safe for Congress, for Reginald, not for Congress as such, because I really do not know whether Reginald will stick to Congress till the time of elections or whether he has some alternative plan. This is also an typically what is a pro-Congress seat, so therefore I have no doubts that Reginald will continue to stay, whether he is with the Congress or whether he is not with the Congress. Now it's for Congress to see.
So you're
whether
saying
he
Reginald is a winning candidate?
Reginald is a winning candidate. I don't give it to the Congress at all. Fatorda, there is no doubt, like him or hate him, Vijay Sardesai has been a very good performer. Vijay Sardesai has been a good minister when he was in the government, and he has been in good opposition when he is away from the government. So it's consistently playing well, irrespective of the pitch. But people since want a change in government there again. So the signs of comeback which we were reading or which we were sensing for the BJP goes for a toss. So here it seems it is an anti-BJP MLA here.
What happens in Nuve? It is essentially, you see, you can't call it a Congress, safe with Congress, because twice the Congress has lost there. It isn't that Congress has won it every time there. But Babashan will have one thing to explain to the people. See, he went to the BJP and very clearly said, I have gone to carry out development in my constituency. Fair enough. If you can carry out development with BJP, why do you now contest as independent? This is my home constituency. This is a question I am directing to him. I'll be voting there. Now, if you BJP can carry out, please be with that party. If you are coming
as a voter,
out,
you feel that Babashan is unsafe.
I don't feel anything, but I am saying he'll have to answer to us why he's not contesting on BJP. Now, that is as far as Nuve is concerned. Now we go to Fatorda. I have no doubt. I don't need this survey to say that Vijay is winning.
Yeah.
You see, I
That's
practice.
why when we come to Salset, we generally rely on you more than
No,
your survey.
no.
Yeah.
See, Vijay is also a long-time friend. And so many people tell me, Vijay Jiknam, I tell all of them, you don't be under a belief that Vijay is not. Vijay will win and will win by a big margin. You see, he has taken care of his constituency like no one else has done. You go and see what he's done. And the works he does are quality works. You see the market, people may talk of formalin or whatever, but you see the fish market we have, it is probably one of the best in India. Neat, clean is still there. He's built a lovely little chapel there where it was coming on the road. You just look at that chapel and you look at the roads. See, he does work, man. He does work and he is available to the public all the time. So there's no reason why people will not vote for Vijay. And then, of course, we have my another friend, Reginald. You see, Reginald is one MLA who is on 24 hours call. I know him. He will at 1 o'clock in the night, 2 o'clock, you call him, he's there at your doorstep. You see, he is an MLA who he's got so much of approval because he is available. Despite being in the opposition, and he does work, people's work, whatever he can do, he does. He sincerely works. So for this reason also, it is a very safe seat for Reginald. But as Dr. Manoj has pointed out, there are big question marks about him being in the Congress, simply because the Congress has been unfair to him all this time.
Okay.
He's been one Congress leader who has stood up, but Congress has not been fair to him.
Giriraj, before I go to Elvis, do you want to contest this data or you concede?
Except for Fatorda, I would like to.
Okay, for Fatorda you would like to contest. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think Fatorda is going to be a big surprise, because increasingly, until some days ago, I think Goa Forward also looked like a credible opposition. Today, Vijay Sardesai looks like an independent with a political party. As far as Kurtorim is concerned,
Yeah.
I think Manoj Bab rightly said that this is vote in favor of Reginald as a performing MLA rather than vote of confidence in the Congress. Nuve, of course, has traditionally been, I think, if not a pro-Congress seat or non-BJP seat. So I think that is for the party to decide. But Fatorda, please get ready to be surprised with the result.
We shall wait. ताजे उपरांत आता आम्ही एक अनेक इंटरेस्टिंग प्रश्न घेतात आणि तो इंटरेस्टिंग प्रश्न म्हळ्यार तुमचो आमचो सगळ्यांचो आणि तो म्हळ्यार प्रत्येक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी येवन सध्या आमकां सांगता तुमकां हें फुकट दिता तें फुकट दिता ही स्कीम दिता ती स्कीम दिता ही स्किमी जे लोक तुगेले किती म्हणटात हे आमी जाणून घेतले आणि जस्ट बिफोर गोईंग दॅट एल्विस बाब कितें यू आय थिंक यू शूड यू 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 एग्री विथ द डेटा
एग्री म्हाका एकच म्हणपाचें आहा म्हाका एक कितें बरें दिसता हांवें सुरवातेक पळय सांगलें डिफेक्टरां बद्दल हांव उलयल्लो दॅट स्टील होल्ड्स गूड नवे पावले उपरांतूय
इट स्टील होल्ड्स गुड
येस
सो आमी हो प्रश्न पळोवया दोन प्रश्न आहाय एक प्रश्न आसा हो स्किमींच्या बाबतींत सोशल स्किम्स ज्यो दितात वेलफेअर स्किम्स ज्यो दितात त्यो दिता म्हणून तुमी खंयच्याय पक्षाक मत मारतले काय कितें आणि दुसरो जो ग्राफ आसा तो आसा फ्री बिसाच्या बाबतींत ना खंयची फुकट लायट दिली फुकट उदक दिलें म्हणून तुमी खंयच्या तरी पक्षाक मत मारतले काय कितें तुमी म्हळ्यार आमी वोटर सगळे पयलीं पळोवया सोशल स्किम्स सोशल स्किम्स दिता डू यू थिंक सोशल स्किम्स लायक लाडली लक्ष्मी गृह आधार दयानंद सामाजिक सुरक्षा एटसेट्रा बी द रिझन टू वोट फॉर अ पर्टिक्युलर पार्टी 55.4% people say yes they will vote because of the schemes 43.6 say no 1% लोक सांगपा सोदनात आता दुसरो आसा तो फ्री बिसाचो ग्राफ फ्री बीस म्हळ्यार फुकट उदक फुकट लायट ह्यो ज्यो गजाली आमकां सगळे जाण येवन सांगतात ते आमी गोंयकार म्हणून कितले मानून घेतात एक्सेप्ट करतात तो ग्राफ पळोवया सो प्रश्न जो आमी विचारिल्लो तो असो सादो प्रश्न फुकटांचे बाबतींत एंड दॅट क्वेश्चन इज Do you think social schemes like free water, free power, LED bulbs be the reason to vote for a particular party? And like 54.3% people say yes, 44.6% people say no, 1% लोकांक खबर ना. So this I think दिलेश आमकां आवडटा न्ही कितें फुकट दिलें कितें हें दिलें कारण दोन्ही ग्राफां भितर फुकट आनी वेलफेअर स्किम्स 55% people are saying that ते दिता म्हणून आमी एका पर्टिक्युलर पक्षाक मत मारतले
Pramod, academically, I also wanted to study a little further whether people prefer cash than getting kind. म्हणजे गृह आधाराचे तुका 3,000 रुपया दिता आणि याचे 5,000 रुपया दिता इज दॅट व्हॉट इज मोर प्रेफर्ड देन गेटिंग फ्री पॉवर because you know what is received in kind is sometimes not appreciated very much. So academically I wanted to figure that out, but I think people in Goa are quite smart and they voted approximately similar manner. Yes, it is unfortunate as an academician and as a teacher, but people, a large majority of people do tend to vote for a particular party or particular candidate because of the schemes and the freebies that they get. And there is no significant difference, though there is a slight difference on absolute terms, but there is no statistically significant difference to prove that people prefer cash coming into their pockets rather than getting
and the
freebies.
difference between yes and no is almost 10%, which is sizable in our small constituencies.
That's why. So it means that they like it. They like the freebies. But I was trying to figure out whether they like cash coming in more than kind coming in. म्हणजे free power द्यायचे परस you give me 5,000 cash in my account. I prefer money in my account rather than free power. So I was just trying to figure that out. But
ना एक गजाल कळ्ळें आमकां दोन्ही जाय
आमकां दोन्ही जाय
दोन्ही जाय
That's but unfortunate but
आमी व्हडली सामकी बजेट पंचनामा करून व्हडली तकली बिकली फोडटात अशें तशें हें पळयतकीर तुका कितें दिसता
आमी ओदोळ म्हणला तशेंच की हे समाजाचे पतन जाता समाजाचे एथिकल व्हॅल्यूज मोरल व्हॅल्यूजाची घसरण आमी ओदोळ सुद्दां पळयल्ली की लोकांक इंडिव्हिज्युअल आपणाक कितें मेळटा तें म्हत्वाचें समाजाक कितें मेळटा सोसायटीन गांवांत कितें जाता डेव्हलपमेंट कांय पडिल्लें ना पण आमी जेन्ना लास्ट टायम आमी पावर डिबेट केल्ली तातूंत आमी एक सामको मुख्यत्वे हो प्रश्न घेतिल्लो लोकांक आवडटा मतां पडटात काय ना आनी तेन्ना बीजेपीचे सगळे कार्यकर्ते आनी जे स्पोक्सपर्सन म्हणटाले अशें फुकट बिकट दिवन कांय मतां मेळना परफॉर्मन्साचेर मेळटा आमी याद दवरुया 2012चे इलेक्शन मनोहर पर्रीकराचे जातून ताणें एक मेजॉरिटी घेवन जेन्ना ते परते पावराचेर आयले मोर दॅन द एंटी इन्कम्बन्सी अगेन्स्ट द काँग्रेस इट वॉज फ्री बी हे सगळ्यो ज्यो स्किमी ज्यो आशिल्ल्यो रायट फ्रॉम फ्री पास पेट्रोलाचेर वॅट काडया किंवा लाडली लक्ष्मी म्हणा किंवा दयानंद सामाजिक सुरक्षा योजना म्हणा ह्यो तेन्नाच्यान जन्माक आयल्यो सो बीजेपी अंडरस्टँड्स दीस पर्टिक्युलर टॅक्टीक मच बेटर आनी नाव ऑल पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज आर कॉपिंग दीस पर्टिक्युलर स्कीम आपाची अनाउन्समेंट पळया आतां काँग्रेसाची मॅनिफेस्टो आतां बीजेपीच्या मॅनिफेस्टोन पळोवचें पडटलें अशें स्कीम रिफ्लेक्ट जाता बट इट्स अ व्हेरी सॅड थिंग टू से आमची ऐपत नासतना आमी रीण काडून फोलगा मारपाचो जो हो हे आसा आनी फुकट मेळटा तें घेवप आनी ताचेर दोळा दवरप, अकॉर्डिंगली मतां मारप, ही टेंडन्सी गोंयांत तयार जाता, ही नवी विकृती तयार जाता, विच इज व्हेरी बॅड फॉर गोवा इन द लॉंग टर्म.
राधाबाब,
See, what happens is this reflects the reality of Goans. This reflects the
this
fact
really this reflects the reality of how we vote.
how we vote. See, what happens is essentially democracy is not indigenous to India. It is a transplanted concept here. And people are not willing to accept it, it is as it is. See, everybody is concerned with getting immediate benefits, that there should be a good government by electing good people. This is not something that goes into our people's heads. So everybody therefore votes, or rather everybody has become a commodity. You pay either directly or indirectly and you vote. So when the voter becomes a commodity, you get poor governments.
एलिस साहब,
इट इज व्हेरी अनफॉर्च्युनेट सिच्युएशन की आमी हे संवय केल्या, ह्यो पळय पॉलिटिकल पार्टीजांनी संवय केल्या, आतां ते काडपाक व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. आनीक इन्स्टेड ऑफ रिड्युसींग आनीक आमी ताचेर वाडयत आसा. म्हणजे आतां गेल्ल्या वर्साक जर 2000 दिताले, आतां म्हणटा 5000 दिवया, कोण 4000 दिवया, 3000 दिवया. ह्यो संवयो इन द लॉंग टर्म इट इज नॉट प्रॉपर. म्हाका दिसता ते भशेन वी हॅव टू एम्पावर पीपल मोर देन इवन थिंकींग अबाउट दीस फ्रीबीज. रियल एम्पावरमेंट जालें जाल्यार लोक आपुणूच घेतले, कोणाचे फ्रीबीज कोणाक जाय पडटल्यो, असो म्हजो व्यू.
गिरिराज,
2019 जर लोकसभा इलेक्शन पळयत, म्हाका दिसता राहुल गांधी हॅज प्रॉमिस्ड इनफ फ्रीबीज, बट पीपल डू नॉट फॉल प्रे टू इट. म्हजो एकूच म्हणणें आसा की आज जेन्ना लाडली लक्ष्मी म्हणटा किंवा दुसरी स्कीम म्हणटा, देर आर बेनिफिशरीज. सो आय थिंक पीपल गो विथ युअर ट्रॅक रिकॉर्ड. 2012 was a government was a vote of confidence in Sri Manohar Parrikar and against the corruption of Congress. So it was not about freebies. So this argument of convenience should not be done. दुसरे कशें आसा, मनोज बाब has used a very severe word, की समाजाचें पतन. म्हजो इतलोच म्हणणें आसा की आज जो विशय मनोज बाबाक दिसता तो सामान्य वोटराक दिसपाक जाय अशें ना. सो फाल्यां ताका जाय तशी दिसना म्हणून सामाजीक पतन. म्हज्या कोतान तरी दिस इज मे बी सम कायंड ऑफ अ सुपेरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. हो आसचो न्हय, मनोज बाबा सारकीच्यान तरी बाळगूचो न्हय अशें म्हजें तांचे कडेन मान्नें. आनी दुसरें जें आसा, nobody is in a race. म्हणजे at least as far as BJP is concerned, it is not in a race of freebies. It is in government today. It does not have to promise. It can only implement. म्हाका दिसता डेव्हलपमेंट, सबका साथ सबका विकास, that is the political plank, and with that BJP will go forward, and I am confident people will support it.
हांवें कोणाचें नांवच घेवंक ना. यू जस्ट वेंट ऑन अ नेम. हांवें जनरलायज केल्लें आसा की सगळ्यांनीच त्यो संवय लायिल्ल्यो आसा. दीट इज अनफॉर्च्युनेट सिच्युएशन.
मनोज, यू हॅव टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दॅट. समाजाचें पतन हो एक हार्श शब्द आसा की लोकांक जर जाय जाल्यार लोकांची चुकली कितें.
न्हय, सी, इन द डेमोक्रेसी लोकांक जे जाय ते आमकां दिवचें पडटा, बट टू वॉट एक्सटेंट वी कॅन गीव. आमी बजेटाचो पंचनामा करता, गोवाच्या फायनान्शियल सिच्युएशना बद्दल उलयता एक्सेट्रा, हो आतां विशय न्हय. पण आमकां जे फ्री बीज जे आमी आतां लोकांक प्रॉमीस करता की सरकारान आतां दिल्या, किंवा नवे सरकारी नोकरेची निर्मिती करता, वेदर इट इज अफोर्डेबल इन द लॉंग रन फॉर गोवाज इकॉनॉमी एज अ होल ऑर नॉट, वेदर दे आर सस्टेनेबल ऑर नॉट. आतां जर तुमी फ्री बीज जेन्ना आमी पळयले, लाडली लक्ष्मी पळया किंवा दयानंद सामाजीक सुरक्षा योजना पळया, ताचे जे कंडिशन्स आसा, एलिजिबिलिटी कंडिशन्स, तशें त्या घटका पर्यंत ते जर पावत जाल्यार बरें. पण ते एलिजिबिलिटीच्या भायर जर ते लोकां पर्यंत पावता जाल्यार वी आर जस्ट गोईंग इन टू समथींग कॉल्ड एज अ पॉप्युलस मेजर. देन इट इज समथींग सर्टनली रॉंग.
हांव इतल्याचेर हो भाग थांबयता. म्हाका एक गजाल कळपा लागला इतलो डेटा पळयतकीर, निलेश मे करेक्ट मी इफ आय एम रॉंग. आमकां एक आमचे दोळे मुखार एक चित्र आसता की हे इम्पॉर्टंट इशू किंवा अशें आमचें राज्य आसचें, आनी लोकांच्यो अपेक्षा, आमची आयडिया ऑफ पॉलिटिकल डिलिव्हरी हांगा बसून उलयतना डिबेटा खातीर आनी लोकांची एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल डिलिव्हरी, हातूंत भितर म्हाका दिसता प्रचंड फरक आसा. लोकांक कितें जाय, आनी एक आहा फुली गिव इट टू पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, तांकां कळना लोकांक कितें जाय तें, आनी त्या प्रमाणे ताणें आपल्याले कॅम्पेन सुरू केल्यात आनी डिलिव्हरी सुरू केल्या. सो त्या बाबतींत आय हॅव टू गिव फूल मार्क्स टू द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी दॅट जशें मनोजान म्हळें की समाजा खातीर बरें काय कितें तें आमी स्टुडियोक डिस्कस करपाचें. लोकांक कितें जाय हें पॉलिटिकल पार्टी करपाक लागतात, आनी अल्टिमेटली ताजेरूच तांकां मत पडटात, ते हरतात काय जिखतात तें कळटा. हो भाग इतल्याचेर थांबयता. फुडल्या भागा भितर एक म्हत्वाचो प्रश्न आहा की फुडलो मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून कोण जातलो अशें लोकांक दिसता. आनी 10 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी: मडगांव, बाणावली, नावेली, कुंकळी, वेळ्ळी, केपें, कुडचडें, सावर्डे, सांगे आनी काणकोण कितें आहा ह्या 10 कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सींतली परिस्थिती ते आनीक लोकांक फुडलो मुख्यमंत्री कोण जातलो असो दिसता ह्या प्रश्नाचेर आमी फुडल्या भागा भितर उलयतले खंयच वचनाकात रोखडेच परत येतात मूड ऑफ द स्टेट सर्वे ब्रॉट टू यू बाय specsmojo.com.
specsmojo.com See the Difference presents Mood of the State co-sponsored by Rajdeep Builders.